right, good morning, everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and admit that this morning I was a little bit grumpy because it's Saturday morning. I'm from California, so it's like 7 o'clock in the morning or something. And I'm getting up out of my cozy, nice hotel bed, and my husband and son are snoring away. And I wasn't sure about this, but wow, what a blessing to be here, to listen to Renee, to listen to Lisa, to be able to look out at these incredibly intelligent, engaged faces. It's just really an honor to be here. And also, I'm excited because I'm going to talk about one of my very favorite topics, which is how you build brands. And I've been in the business of building brands pretty much my whole career. It started with brands like Doritos and Cheetos when I was at Frito-Lay. And I bet everybody out there has experienced the joy of having your fingers covered in that yummy yellow cheese, right? It's actually called Cheeto, or Cheetos. Oh, a little bit of that. As Maria said, I also was the Chief Global Marketing Officer for Yahoo, where you are able to put the world's information at your fingertips. Great opportunity for me to jump into the digital world. And then most recently, I was at Nintendo, where we turned fitness into fun with the launch of Wii Fit. And we also turned a lot of women onto handheld gaming with the Nintendo DS. Now, currently, I'm serving as U.S. President and Global CMO of Kidzania. And Kidzania is a little bit like a children's museum, a little bit like a theme park, but really it's unlike anything you've ever seen before. What we are doing is taking interactive entertainment and learning to a whole new level by empowering kids with authentic role-playing in real kid-sized environments. Now, this job has become a culmination of my personal desire to really inspire and educate kids via a great brand. And it's also been a personal reaffirmation for me that it's possible to build a profitable business and do something you really love. And if you're not loving what you do, there's no reason keeping at it. Now, I imagine that most of you haven't heard about Kidzania because it isn't here in the US yet. So I wanted to give you just a little bit of a snapshot through a quick video so you can see more of what we're about. Now, let's see. You may have to figure out how to click down there. Oh, I need a little technical support. I can talk about it, but until you see it,
kids can do amazing things when they're given a chance. And that's what Kidzania is all about. Kidzania is a unique entertainment and educational center to learn about the adult world in a city built entirely for kids. Kidzania is the only place in the world where a kid can think, work, play, and feel like an adult.
I am a journalist. I am an archaeologist. I'm a police officer.
Packed with exciting and realistic role-playing activities, Kidzania is a place that will change the way you think about kids' entertainment destinations because it's designed to make kids think about things on a much bigger scale. There are nearly 100 roles for kids to play at Kidzania, each developed in minute detail by its real-world counterpart to create awe-inspiring, authentic experiences.
Hi, I'm Rapidu. I am a problem solver.
Kidzania is already spanning the globe, drawing huge crowds every day in 8 major cities, in 6 countries on 3 continents, and more than 15 new Kidzanias in development. Through the eyes of a child, being an adult is exciting business, and that's why Kidzania is the smartest, fastest-growing idea in the kids' entertainment business today. Kidzania, get ready for a better world.
I am empowered. I am inspired. I am a success.
Yeah. So it's pretty easy to see why I'm passionate about that. So we have 8 active parks, and we have 13 under construction around the world. And each and every one of them is designed to inspire, educate, and entertain children through role playing. So kids can be pilots, or doctors or architects. And my job is to bring Kidzania here to the US, and I think it is going to be an absolute blast to build this brand here. But branding is something that isn't just relevant to large companies like Yahoo or Nintendo. It's not even something that's just relevant to a small, fast-growing brand like Kidzania. Actually, it doesn't even matter if you're a company. Branding is also relevant to individuals. It's really about creating impressions that will best help you reach your goals and serve your audience. Unfortunately, it's really not that complicated. Matter of fact, everything you need to know about branding, you can pretty much learn from kids. So I thought it would be a little bit of fun to take my almost 30 years worth of branding experience and combine it with some perspectives from my favorite consumers, kids. So to start, you might ask, does branding even matter? Is it something that I should care about? Well, I think for all of you who are parents, which I think is most everybody in the room, you don't have to look much further than your own house to answer that question. Like, let's think about something like Lego. Why is it that you're willing to pay so much more for Lego than you would pay for, a generic brand that's good quality and costs a lot less? Well, it's about the quality, it's about the reputation, it's about the reliability, it's about the experience you've had when you've gone to the Lego store or when you visited Lego Land together with your child. It's about the smile that you see on your daughter's face when she opens up her birthday present and it's Lego. Those are all the things that work together to make it a brand. What about another one, M&Ms? Has anybody been over to the M&Ms store across the street? Yeah, why would you spend all that money on M&Ms instead of kind of a generic chocolate-covered candy? Well, it's maybe because of those pretty cute little critters whether you like the red one or the green one or the yellow one, or it's because you remember that tagline, it melts in your mouth and not in your hands. Or maybe it's because you know when you put M&Ms in a kid's Halloween bucket when they come knocking on your door, that they're going to smile in a way that they probably wouldn't if you just put the generic store label brand. It's all those things that come together to create a brand. So brands create value by making products and services stand out. Simply put, your brand is your promise to your consumer. It tells them what they can expect from what you do. And so I'm going to share with you some of the rules of branding that I've learned as an MBA student at the Harvard Business School or as a young marketing assistant at Frito-Lay. And I really think that they can be applied to everything you do, whether you're trying to increase your followers, whether you're trying to grow your viral footprint, whether you're trying to snag more partnerships like Lisa was talking about. It's really about having focus and discipline up front that can make you a category standout and really help build your brand into a household name. So, how do you build this kind of passion? How do you build this kind of premium? I'm going to give you 13 tips for branding, developed from experience, and also inspired by my Kidzania kids. So here's my first one. Know what you want to be when you grow up. Firefighter, doctor, judge. Just like kids allow themselves to dream big, so should you. The most important first step is having a clear sense of your mission. Maybe it's to be one of the top-rated parenting blogs. Maybe it's to grow your local cupcake shop into a national chain. Maybe it's to be sought out for your opinions and your savvy. You need to have a solid vision. Next, you need an articulation of objectives that will help you get there. Know your key milestones, your expansion goals, your target for sales and brand perception. Commit them to paper. Share them with someone you trust. And then check in frequently to make sure that you still believe what you wrote down. Now, Apple didn't just happen upon the brand it is today. They made it a company mantra to empower users, to give them control, and to give them tools to enable creativity. Then they constantly ensured that each and every product and each and every point of communication supported this position of empowerment. Tip number 2, understand what makes you different and special. To achieve your dream requires what in marketing terms we call differentiation. And said more simply, it's asking, what makes me stand out? No one's good at everything, and no one site or company can appeal to everyone. So avoid the catch-all. Discover who you are and what you stand for. Spend some time thinking about your values, about what you want your brand personality to be. Are you bold? Are you pragmatic? Are you cutting edge? Are you somebody who's going to represent knowledge or security or empowerment? What are the first things that come to your mind when you think about yourself relative to your competition? I'd really even suggest that you take the time to write it down and see if you can get it into 15 words or less. Then, when you read it, see if it makes your eyes light up. If it doesn't, go back and try it again. As Dr. Seuss says, there is no one alive that is youer than you. So embrace the you of your brand and live it in everything you say and do. I think that's very much Lisa's message in terms of don't worry about the competition. Be who you are. My next tip is to be a BFF. The successful brands understand the aspirations and desires of their consumer, and they connect with them on an emotional level. They go beyond just satisfying needs by providing experiences that offer a deeper emotional connection. So much like best friends, brands need to understand consumers' wishes and dreams and then be there when they're needed. Do your research. Learn the needs and habits and desires of your current and of your prospective consumers. Now think about American Girl. American Girl doesn't just sell dolls. They introduce new friends, and they empower a sense of belonging by creating a line of dolls with a story that girls can relate to and be inspired by. The American Girl successfully creates an emotional connection which enhances the relationship and makes these friends feel very, very real. Or think about Starbucks. Starbucks offers a whole lot more than just a caffeine pick-me-up, right? They invite consumers into a coffee experience. They create this emotional connection by providing a mini escape in the day, a place to go that feels like home, and a barista that knows just how you like it. My fourth tip is to be a good listener. To really know your audience, it's important for brands to have a two-way conversation with their customers or their followers. Don't just talk. You have to listen. Open up a dialogue. I promise it'll pay off. Well, consumers today expect brands to know them intimately. And fortunately, with social media, there are endless ways to learn about what others think, what they're posting on Facebook, what they're tweeting, the comments they post in your blog. Read them carefully, and understand what's relevant in your consumers' lives and how they react to what you say. You can use these great tools to learn and grow. And most important, don't be afraid to answer back and engage in a one-on-one dialogue. Whether you're a kid or an adult, everyone has a desire to be heard. My fifth tip is to develop your own distinctive style. And no matter what niche you're trying to fill, chances are there is going to be somebody out there who's trying to compete with you. So to stand out and be memorable, it's important to have a consistent identity that brings to life your character, your charisma. I think Target has done an amazing job of this over the years. They weave their logo into all of their communications seamlessly and artfully. And it always reinforces that Target is a fun, clean, hip place to shop. But in fact, I did score in the Sony bag last week. I don't know if anybody else did, but I was kind of proud of that. So don't be shy. Make your point of difference ownable and lasting, and bring it to life in everything you do. Branding extends to every aspect of your business. It's got to be in your logo. It's got to be in your tweets. It's in your profile picture. It's in your business cards. It's even in the way you dress yourself when you're going out in public. Be your visual brand. And if the shoe fits, don't be afraid to wear those sparkly red ones, because it might be the thing that really makes you memorable for generations to come. Now, along with your visual identity, it's important to find your voice. So begin by identifying the 3 things that you want to be known for. Write down your key messages. Practice them. Make sure they feel natural, true to your soul. Make sure they're compelling. Find a tone that fits your brand, and then apply it to all of your written and spoken communication. It can be friendly, it can be funny, it can be authoritative. What matters is that it becomes yours and that you use it consistently. You know, even something as simple as the message you put on your answering machine can tell volumes about your brand. Now, one brand that has an amazing voice that carries through in everything she does is Oprah. No matter where you turn, she's true to her mission of helping people open their eyes to themselves and to see the world differently. Her tone is inspirational, yet it's also very real and very empowering. You see her voice in full color in her show, in her magazine, throughout her website, even across her book club. And as a result, I think we're all waiting to see exactly what she's going to do next. So related to finding your voice is being true to who you are. Now, while you can aspire to be anything you want, real brands create a sincere connection with their users. So embrace the core of your brand and be authentic at every turn. Don't try to be something that you're not. This is especially important when you're looking to expand and grow. People are drawn to the brands that stay true to themselves. I think Nintendo is a great example of this. For years, Nintendo has remained a category leader. But as more people and more competition came in, they tried to push the industry to battle in more technological arenas. Yet Nintendo stayed true to its core. It was about providing fun, engaging experiences. They embraced their whimsical and playful brand personality. And as a result, they've held on to one of the most loyal followings that I've ever had a chance to engage with. Tip number 8, use all the tools in your tool belt. The marketing today has evolved, and there are endless ways to share your story. So get creative with social media, with promotions, with partnerships, and create a valuable and frequent dialogue between your audiences and your brand. So in order to make the most of what's out there, I encourage you guys, watch trends, find the next YouTube, make the most of Facebook, and reward your audience for their loyalty. Also, if something takes off, run with it. I think one of the brands that has really made its mark this year is Old Spice. The man your man could smell like. You know, this campaign demonstrated a brand that listened and used every tool in their tool belt. So they launched the spokesperson as a crusade against the native scented body wash with the "Look at me, now look at your man" campaign. Did you guys love that? This ran on YouTube and Facebook, and they even got very creative with their online search advertising, which made it look like they had run in the Super Bowl, even though they hadn't. And then when it started to take off, they followed it up with a spokesperson tour. They even created a response campaign where people who commented on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook got a personalized recorded message from the Old Spice guy. This was a fantastic example of using all of the tools in your tool belt to take something that was big and make it even bigger. My 9th tip is to remember to use both your inside voice and your outside voice. You guys remember, did your parents, Renee's mom must have told her to use her inside voice a lot. You know, if you're serious about growing your brand, it's critical to be seen and to be heard and to do it often. Now, whether it's behind the scenes with your inside voice or speaking out publicly with your outside voice, it's all about getting noticed, building awareness, and staying top of mind. So network, speak at events, write guest editorials, do media interviews. It will grow your brand and it will open up all kinds of new opportunities. You can begin by identifying who you want to target and then make a list of all the places that you think you can reach them. Look for ways to reach top influencers out there and then think of the best way to get their attention. You don't need to be everywhere. You just need to figure out the places that really matter. Now, brands need to constantly evolve and grow to stay relevant. So as we tell our kids, don't be afraid to try something new. And while you need to stay true to the core of who you are, be sure to keep your brand fresh. Evolve with the times. Try and stay one step ahead of what your audience is looking for. So ask yourself, what's next? Find the next big thing that extends your brand. Be willing to take a risk. Be willing to do something different. So at Kidzania, we're about to open a next generation park in Mexico that takes Kidzania empowerment to the whole new level. Our focus will continue to be on education and entertainment, but now we're adding a new level of socialization to promote change. So we're going to help kids learn even more about community, about civic responsibility, and about the environment. The kids will be exposed to special needs. They'll learn about health. They'll even learn about car safety as they drive from establishment to establishment in our new outdoor park. So we're growing and evolving, working to stay true to who we are, but constantly doing something to keep the brand fresh as well. 11, learn and grow. As you stretch your brand, it's critical to measure your progress and see what's working. You can't learn from what you don't know. So take the time to set clear goals, create targets, and track them along the way. And whether you're doing formal research or monitoring reactions on social media, you've got to be tracking. I encourage you to take time to analyze the data and assess it against your goals. And if you aren't where you want to be, consider making some changes. Look for some new areas of opportunity to help you grow. Number 12, just like people, brands will make mistakes. So my advice to you is if you fall down, get back up. Be honest, admit your faults, and share your plans to make it all better. This will make your brand real and relatable, and might just make your audience even more loyal than they were before. People understand that no one is perfect. That's why pencils have erasers. And we have all watched brands that have struggled. And those that try to show their perfect side and in the process don't allow us to see their human side. It's always a delicate matter, but trust and loyalty carry far into the future, making a mark on a brand that's hard to change. And finally, play for passion and play to win. Never forget why you set out to do what you're doing. It might be about making the world a better place. It might be about being able to better balance personal and professional growth. But always do it to your very best and quit when it stops being fun. Now, a few last words from a couple of experts. Andrew wants you to remember that puppies still have bad breath, even after eating a TikTok. And from Joey, don't forget that you can't hide a piece of broccoli in a glass of milk. So thank you all, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.